Hey guys, Pitmaster here. Quick blog. I'm going to talk about the 3 dumbest rules in MMA today. There's a lot of them, but I got to do I'm going to do a disclaimer first and say it's getting so much better. I mean, it's hard starting a new sport and trying to put rules and regulations. Guys like Mark Ratner, Dana, and the UFC crew. I mean, it's getting a lot better. You know, we have the best referees. You know, guys like Big John McCarthy leading the way, and Herb Dean, and I mean, just it's getting better. So I'm going to preface it by saying it's getting tons better. But let me just tell you the 3 dumbest rules I think right now in MMA. Okay, rule number 1: no hitting in the back of the head. What's the difference between the back of the head and the front of the head? A concussion is a concussion. A subdural hematoma is a subdural hematoma. You can hit him on the side of the head, give him a subdural hematoma. There's no difference around the skull. Okay. Now I could see hitting him in the in the back of the spine, or the neck, right at the spine, and hammer blowing him real hard, and that might be a little racy, risky, but the back of the head, like, you can't hit here. That makes no sense, because you can hit here but not here. So it's a silly rule because it makes no sense. The guy's hitting the guy and then he turns his head and all of a sudden it's a foul. So I don't think there's any difference between the front of the head, the side of the head, or the back of the head. As long as it's the head, it's potential for comatose state. I mean, you can really get hurt hitting him anywhere in the head. So if it's gonna ban the head, not the front of the head and the back of the head. There's no difference. So I think singling out the back of the head is not a good rule. I think it doesn't make any sense. Okay. All right. Rule number 2: up kicking. Okay, makes no sense. Somebody's got you down, and you're on one knee, punching them in the face. I mean, you can render them unconscious with one punch. You got hip on your side, shoulders on your side, and gravity on your side. And this poor guy's about to get knocked out, so he lifts his leg up and kicks you in the face because you happen to have one knee on the ground. It's illegal for him to kick you up. Makes no sense. Okay? You could be standing over him and just have one finger on the ground and being ready to just knock him into oblivion, and he kicks up at you and he's called on a foul. Okay? If you're in a superior position on top of somebody, whether you have both feet on the ground or both feet and a finger, and they kick up at you, it should be legal for them to defend themselves by kicking up. I think that's a stupid rule. It makes no sense. Up kicks are illegal. I could see football kicks or soccer kicks or stomps if the guy's on the ground. I think that should be illegal. But kicking up at someone to save your consciousness, I don't think should be illegal. And that makes absolutely no sense. I think you should be able to up kick anyone that is over you, about to do you great bodily injury and put you into a comatose state. So up kicks, no sense why you can't throw them. I think you should be able to. Okay, 3rd stupid rule. Okay, now you're clinching, and you're bending over, and the guy can knee you in the face and knock you out, and then he wins. Okay, now you're in the same position, the exact same position, and you're wrestling, you're grappling, you're in the clinch, and you're in the same position, but now he puts one finger on the mat. Now you can't knee him in the face. Okay. Now I could see if he was on both knees and he was on his hands and knees, I could see him being susceptible to more injuries and more vulnerable position. But to me, if someone's on a mat and they have both feet on the ground firmly planted and they just put one finger on the mat, I don't think that should make for a downed opponent. And I think it's a stupid rule. I think if you're going to knee someone, in a clinch, you should be able to knee them if they have both feet on the ground or both feet and one finger. So I think that's a crazy rule, and I know they're all made with good intentions and to keep the fighter safe, but I think they turned out being stupid. You know, up kicks should be allowed. If you want to say no hitting in the head, say no hitting in the head, but don't single out the back of the head versus the front of the head or the side of the head. So I think no strikes to the back of the head, stupid rule. And I think no kneeing opponent with one finger on the ground is completely ludicrous. I think it's the dumbest rule in the world. Okay, so those are my pick for the 3 dumbest rules. Okay, now answer me this one. This is off topic. What does no small joint manipulation mean? Does that mean if somebody has you in a body lock, you can't pry one finger away because you might hurt that pinky? But you can take their arm bar them, and snap their arm in half. And that's legal. Does that make sense? Anyway, thanks for coming.